top stories. Federation calls for resource mobilization without debt cycle at ZIZ 7. Caribbean Airlines hopeful to resolve salary negotiations with pilots. And Trump released on bond after arrest and mugshot in Georgia. The details on these stories and more after the break.
The biggest party in sport is back. CPL returns with more action than ever before.
Are you kidding me? Ollie!
Watch the biggest names in cricket battle it out in the race for glory.
Brilliantly! Celebrate some more!
Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Friday, the 25th of August, 2023. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, as small island developing states or ZIZ continue to face the effects of rapid climate change, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis has called for more resource mobilization without high debt at the ZIZ 7 summit that took place in Vancouver, Canada. Environment and Climate Action Minister Honorable Joel Clark made the petition on behalf of the Federation, the region, and other ZIZ during her presentation.
Although we commend the engagement, increased effort is needed to fully address resource mobilization in a manner that does not further compound the cycle of indebtedness, which is a prevailing risk to the creation of a resilient environmental, economic, and social development landscape in large ocean ZIZ, particularly within the Caribbean region.
She highlighted actions the Federation has taken to protect itself from the effects of climate change and improve resilience.
In this context, we embrace the opportunity to secure multi-island partnerships working with our Caribbean neighbors of France, the Netherlands, and the United States. St. Kitts and Nevis has made clear its own call to action for protecting biodiversity, addressing plastic pollution and marine waste, and promoting sustainability through its transformation plan to become a sustainable island state premised on innovation, inclusion, justice, biodiversity protection, climate resilience, and social protection, and importantly, the radical transformation of the energy sector.
She advocated for continued dialogue to achieve the SDGs and other ambitious projects by 2030. The police are investigating two non-fatal traffic accidents that occurred in Nevis on Thursday. The first accident occurred on the Island Main Road, Stony Grove, in the vicinity of Powell's service station between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m. and involved motor Jeep PA 1311, which was being driven by Jerry Cornelius of Prospect, and motor pickup P7762, which was being driven by James Liebert of Pond Hill. Preliminary investigations indicate that both Mr. Cornelius and Mr. Liebert were traveling in the same direction, with Mr. Liebert being ahead of Mr. Cornelius. When they arrived in the vicinity of Powell's service station, Mr. Liebert stopped in the middle of the road, rolled backwards, and collided into the right side headlights, bumper, and bonnet of Mr. Cornelius's motor Jeep. Mr. Liebert subsequently left the scene of the accident. Within minutes of this incident, Mr. Liebert gained access to another vehicle, motor pickup PA 7762, and was involved in another accident on Pump Road with motor Jeep PA 2273, which was being driven by Leonard Cornelius of Ramsbury site. The police report stated that Mr. Cornelius's Jeep was parked on the seaside of the road at Pump Road due to mechanical issues. Mr. Liebert reportedly drove up Pump Road and collided into Mr. Cornelius's rear right side bumper. Mr. Liebert failed to stop at the scene of the accident, but was later stopped at Stuart Williams Drive by police officers of the Task Force Department. Mr. Liebert was transported by police officers to the Alexandra Hospital to seek medical attention. An investigation into the incident is ongoing. Newtown United and Connery FC will do battle in tonight's Super 6 playoff match at the SKNFA Technical Center at 7 p.m. More in this SKNFA report.
Today, the 2023 SKNFA Super 6 playoffs continues, with former champions Newtown United taking on last season's finalist Saul Island Auto Supply's Connery FC. Newtown is back in the playoffs after an extended absence, and they have started off as a team hungry for success. But they are having a hard time holding on to leads. After leading St. Paul's United early in their match on Saturday, they conceded 2 goals to lose that match. Again on Tuesday, they had Village Superstars 2-0 down in the first 16 minutes of the match, only for Village to come storming back to draw 2-2. It's something their coach Anthony Nets Isaac said they have to improve on if they are to get victories and advance to the finals. As for Connery, they have had a pretty decent start to the playoffs, holding defending champion St. Paul's United to a 1-1 draw and a goalless draw with Keon Rockets. Coach Al Richards said while he is happy to get a point as opposed to losing each game, he believes his players need to work on their finishing if they are to do well in the playoffs.
Simple, we just got to execute here. We just got to be patient around the box. We just got to finish, we got to go up to the training ground, work on them areas there where we miss happen, we missing, just come back Friday and get the victory.
The match starts at 7 p.m. at the SKNFA Technical Center.
We'll be right back with regional news after this.
The biggest party in sport is back. CPL returns with more action than ever before.
Are you kidding me? Volley!
Watch the biggest names in cricket battle it out in the race for glory.
Brilliantly! Celebrate some more!
Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Regionally, Trinidad-based carrier Caribbean Airlines says it is hopeful of a resolution to salary negotiations with the Trinidad and Tobago Airline Pilots Association. It follows the cancellation of 60 international and domestic flights over the weekend. TTT News' Sunil Lala reports.
This was very unexpected.
Caribbean Airlines CEO Gavin Madeira confirmed that the airline received a counter proposal for salary negotiations at 2 p.m. on Friday and was surprised when stick-out action was taken.
We were absolutely looking forward to the opportunity to meet and discuss it, and unfortunately we didn't get an opportunity Saturday and Sunday.
He restated that CAL received 20 calls from pilots calling in sick last Friday, 19 on Saturday and 54 on Sunday, causing chaos for passengers and a considerable cost to the airline.
The initial numbers that we have in terms of hotels and putting everything together comes up to approximately 15 million TT. And that's what we've calculated so far. We haven't even considered the opportunity costs and the loss of trust from the customer base.
Mr. Madeira said CAL held discussions with members of the union on Monday evening, where they expressed a commitment to move things forward and confidence in coming to an amicable resolution in the shortest possible time. He said since that meeting, most flights have normalized.
All flights have been restored as of Tuesday the 22nd. What we are still focused on is the restoration for a couple of the North American passengers.
CAL will launch a platform on its website on Friday for refunds and compensation requests, all of which he said would be considered, including those on the local air bridge.
Even if you went on the boat, we are going to refund your plane ticket as well, even if you were transported on the ferry, and we're going to issue a credit to the same amount for future travel for you.
Mr. Madeira also responded to calls for his resignation.
My view is I didn't call sick on Sunday.
Sonolala, TTT News.
International news is next after this short break.
When hurricane season strikes, businesses need a partner who's ready to go the extra mile. One who understands the challenges and has experience to mitigate the risks. Trust C&W Business, your safety net in the eye of the storm. Our comprehensive disaster recovery strategies empower businesses to protect critical assets, keep communication channels open, and help operations recover quickly, ensuring the safety and continuity of your business. With C&W Business, a safe business is an open business.
Internationally, former U.S. President Donald Trump was arrested at a Georgia jail Thursday on racketeering and conspiracy charges and released on a $200,000 bond after having a historic mugshot taken. More in this France 24 report.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump arrived at Fulton County Jail in Atlanta at about 7:30 p.m. local time on Thursday to turn himself in after being indicted last week. Trump was booked on 13 charges related to his attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election and became the first American president to have his mugshot taken. After paying a bond of $200,000, he was free to go. Before flying off, he spoke briefly to journalists, repeating some familiar complaints.
If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you could have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support.
A dozen of Trump's fellow accused were also booked at Fulton County Jail over the past 2 days, including former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Trump, who is the frontrunner in the Republican Party primaries, said his opponents were continuing to engage in election interference. The indictment is the fourth that Trump has faced this year, all of which ensures that the former president's run for the White House next year is going to be busier than would usually be the case.
The weather is next after this break.
When hurricane season strikes, businesses need a partner who's ready to go the extra mile. One who understands the challenges and has experience to mitigate the risks. Trust C&W Business, your safety net in the eye of the storm. Our comprehensive disaster recovery strategies empower businesses to protect critical assets, keep communication channels open, and help operations recover quickly, ensuring the safety and continuity of your business. With C&W Business, a safe business is an open business.
And now for the weather. Present weather is cloudy skies. Winds are a light air of 3 miles per hour from a northerly direction. Seas are not exceeding 1.2 meters or 4 feet. Weather forecast in St. Kitts and Nevis for today will be partly sunny skies in general, with brief cloudy spells and a 50% or moderate chance of brief afternoon showers. Tonight will be fair to partly cloudy skies, with a 40% or moderate chance of brief showers, mainly before midnight. Sunset today will be at 6:30 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:56 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.